Good morning students. This is 11th standard botany video class, video 11. In this video, we are going to see the lesson Plant Kingdom. Dear students, in the previous video class, we have seen introductory part of pteridophytes. These pteridophytes are known as seedless vascular cryptogames. So why they are named as vascular cryptogames? Because these pteridophytic plants contains vascular tissue such as xylem and phloem. So they are known as vascular cryptogames. But they are unable to produce the seeds. So they are known as seedless vascular cryptogames. And also we have seen different characteristic feature. The plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaf. Diploid sporophyte. Two types of leaves are present, microphyllous and macrophyllous. Xylem and phloem are arranged in the group is known as stellar vascular bundle. Tracheids are the chief water conducting material. Spores are two types, homosporous or heterosporous. The development of sporangia is also different, eusporangiate and heterosporangiate. Water is essential for fertilization process. Vegetative reproduction by fragmentation, resting bud, root tuberous and adventitious bud. Sexual reproduction is oogamous type. Antheridium produce multiflagellate anthrozoites. Archegonia produce single egg or ova. Both of them haploid, fuse together to form a diploid zygote. The zygote which undergo repeated mitotic cell division to form an embryo. Before that, the important organ is also produced. The spores which are produced in the sac-like organ is known as sporangia. These sporangia are born or developed on a special leaves known as sporophylls. They are divided into two, microsporophyll and megasporophyll. These sporophylls are joined together to form a cone-like structure is known as strobilus. Then they are produced the spores. The haploid spores are produce haploid, multicellular, green color, caudate shape, that is odd-shaped, independent gametophyte is known as prothallus. So this prothallus only afterwards produce the different two sex organ. These sex organs are fused together to form a diploid zygote. Then these pteridophytic plants which are showing two methods in the fertilization process. One is apogamy, that means absence of fusion of gametes. So they are producing directly haploid embryo without act of fertilization process is known as apogamy. Another one, apospory. Diploid gametophyte is produced from the diploid sporophyte. That is said to be apospory. Without the formation of spores, the sporophytic plant body directly produces the diploid gametophyte. That is said to be apospory. Up to this only we have seen in the previous video class, and also some pteridophytic plants also we have seen. One of the pteridophytic plant is known as azolla, which is living in the water. It is known as water fern, which is very much important in the agriculture, paddy fielding, responsible for fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. So up to this, we have seen in the previous video class. In this video, we are going to see the classification of pteridophytes, economic importance of pteridophytes, and the characteristic feature of different pteridophytic classes, then the life cycle of one of the genus, Selaginella. Dear students, classification of pteridophytes. The pteridophytic classification was proposed by a scientist, Reimer, in the year 1954. Is an important one-mark question. The pteridophytes are divided into 5 subdivisions. One is Xylophytopsida, Xylotopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida, and Pteropsida. And also, they are divided into 19 orders and 48 families. Is the classification of pteridophytes. Dear students, what is order, what is families, what is subdivision, genus, species, everything we will see later in the plant taxonomy lesson. Dear students, these are all the 5 subdivisions of pteridophytes. The pronunciation of the 5 subdivisions are Xylophytopsida, P is silent, okay. Xylophytopsida, Xylotopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida, and Pteropsida. So these subdivisions are divided into 19 orders and 48 families. Is an important one-mark question. The pteridophytic subdivisions are divided into dash orders and dash families. 9 orders and 48 families. The classification of pteridophyte was proposed by dash known as Reimer. Dear students, these are all the 5 subdivision of division Pteridophyta. So Pteridophyta divided into 5 subdivision: Xylophytopsida, Xylotopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida, and Pteropsida. First one, the characteristic feature of Xylophytopsida. All are extinct plant. That means nowadays we are unable to see this subdivision plants. But in those period of Devonian, period of Paleozoic era, in that period they are present. That plant body is only stem and rhizome. The plant body is made up of only stem, that means the erect stem, and also horizontal rhizome. Root and leaves were absent. Homosporous, they are producing, what is that one? Same type of a sporus. That is said to be homosporous. That is one type of spore. Spore tetrads were born at the terminal sporangia. That means they have produced 4 spores at the tip of the sporangia. Terminal means tip of the sporangia. So this is the characteristic feature of Xylophytopsida. Example, Rhynia. Another one, Xylotopsida. The plant body is the plant body is rootless. Rootless means root is absent. Leaf and stem is present. And also the plant body which contains fungal association. A fungal partner is also associated with the stem or a leaf region. Then the leaves are look like very small and also a scaly appendages. Scaly, which means I already told you, for example, the outer peeling of the onion is known as scaly leaves. So leaves is also look like scaly appendages. The gametophyte is colorless. Normally, we have seen pteridophytic. Prothalli or gametophyte is, what is that one? Color, multicellular, chordate shape, that is odd shaped, independent, haploid, gametophyte known as prothalli, isn't it? But here in this Psilotapsida, gametophyte is colorless, but it contains the fungal association. They are also produced one type of spores known as homosporous, and spores are produced in sporangia or synangia. So in this Psilotapsida, sporangia are otherwise known as, what is that one? Synangia. Example, Psilotum. The next one, Lycopsida. The plant body is differentiated into stem, leaf and root. Leaves are very small. Veins are only one, univeined, only one vein. The leaves are spirally arranged. Then ligules are present. So ligules are a small hair-like appendages which is present at the base of a leaves. That is said to be ligule. We will see in a life cycle of the pteridophytic plant. So ligules are present at the base of a leaves. Sporophylls are arranged in the form of cone-like structure known as strobili or strobilus. They are showing both homosporous condition and heterosporous condition. Homosporous in Lycopodium, heterosporous in Selaginella. So the example of Lycopsida is Selaginella. Next one, Spinopsida. Here also plant body differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Stems are differentiated into nodes and internodes. Then here also the leaves are look like in the form of scaly appearance and also small. They are arranged at the nodal region in whorls. Whorls means around the nodal region the leaves are arranged. Okay. Then peltate disc of sporangiopore possess compact strobili. Dear students, the arrangement of strobili is in compact, that means closely arranged, which contains a small stalk-like region is known as sporangiophore. The shape of the sporangiospore is peltate disc. So peltate disc means, dear students, this is the shape of the peltate leaf. That means at the tip of the petiole means stalk of a leaf, a oval shaped leaf which are attached. So that type of leaf is known as peltate type of a leaves. In this subdivision of pteridophytes named Spinopsida, the leaves are look like in the form of peltate disc of sporangiophore. Sporangiophore means a stalk-like portion. At the tip, they are having the sporangia. So this is the shape of a peltate leaf, but in Spinopsida subdivision, the sporangia which is attached at the tip of a long stalk-like structure is known as sporangiophore, as in leaf of a peltate. At the tip they are having ovoid shape sporangium. That is said to be peltate disc of sporangiophore which possess the compact strobili, that is closely arranged strobili. Then here they are showing the homosporous type of spores, but they are showing the incipient heterospory. So incipient means, so that means the basic or little amount of heterosporous condition is seen in the Spinopsida plants. Example, in Equisetum arvens. The last subdivision is Pteropsida. The plant body differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Here, the plant contains megaphyllous type of leaves. The leaves which are showing a small gap in the internal structure. The sporangia are arranged into group is known as sori. So that sori is not present in the previous subdivision. In the last Pteropsida subdivision, different sporangia are joined together to form a sorus. Dear students, don't confuse with the strobili. Strobili means different sporophylls or group of sporophylls joined together to form a cone-like structure is known as strobili. But here the sporangia, now only we have seen at the stalk of a sporangia 4, the peltate shaped sporangium are attached. That means oval shaped sporangia are attached. Those sporangia are fused together to form a shape is known as sorus. Then in this Pteropsida subdivision, both the spore conditions are present. Homosporous and heterosporous forms are present. Example, Marsilia, that is known as Arachera. Dear students, don't confuse with Arachera and Arachera. Arachera is different from Arachera. So Marsilia, a common name is Arachera. Dear students, these are all the different characteristic features of subdivision of Pteridophyta. Next, we are going to see the economic importance of pteridophytes. It's a very, very important 2 mark, 3 mark and 5 mark question. Kindly put important mark in your textbook. Economic importance of pteridophytes. First one, the plant Rumoro adiantiformis. Rumoro adiantiformis, known as leather leaf pan, is used in cut flower arrangements. So the flowers are arranged in the form of different pieces. The arrangement is look like that. That is said to be cut flower arrangements. Marsilia used as a food material. Azolla is used as a biofertilizer to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Dryopteris filix mass, that is treatment for tapeworm. Teres vitata, removal of heavy metals from soils, that is bioremediation. So these plants is used to remove the heavy metals which is present in the environment, clearing the heavy metals from the soil. That is known as Teres vitata. This removal of heavy metals from the soil is known as bioremediation, clearing the environment. Next one, Pteridium species. The leaves are yielding a green color dye. Equisetum species, stems for scouring. Scouring means to prepare for washing material, rough material. You are using to wash the vessels, isn't it? That is said to be scouring. Xylotum, Lycopodium, Selaginella, Angiopteris, Maratia are used as an ornamental plants in the house. Dear students, see the do you know paragraph. So these pteridophytes are the very successful dominant vascular plants. Is due to the development of extensive root system, that is proper root system, efficient conductive tissue such as xylem and phloem, cuticle to prevent desiccation, outer surface of the stem and leaf region, they are having the thick cuticle surface to prevent from the external damage of your plant body or plant organs. Stomata is also present in the leafy region for gaseous exchange. That's why these pteridophytic plants are known as very successful dominance of vascular plants. So these are all the characteristic feature to name the pteridophytic plants as successful dominance vascular plants. So these are all the economic importance. And do you know paragraph? Dear students, up to this we have seen introductory part of pteridophyte, general characteristic feature, classification of pteridophytes, different subdivision of pteridophytes and their characteristic feature, and economic importance of pteridophytes. Now, we are going to see the next topic is life cycle of one of the pteridophytic plant known as Selaginella. The Selaginella belongs to the subdivision Lycopsida. Dear students, Selaginella. The systematic position of Selaginella is division Lycophyta, class Ligulopsida, order Selaginellales, family Selaginellaceae, genus Selaginella. Dear students, the systematic position of Selaginella is important. 2 mark question. Dear students, the Selaginella is commonly known as spike moss. Dear students, Funaria is known as cod moss, we have seen in the previous video class. But the Selaginella is known as spike moss. So it's an important 1 mark question. Funaria is known as cod moss and Selaginella is commonly known as spike moss. So this Selaginella is distributed in humid temperature. That means the environmental condition which contains little amount of moisture or watery content, and also tropical rainforest. So that's why in the general characteristic feature we have seen water is essential for fertilization process, and also they are living in the region where the little amount of water is present. Cool, shady, moist places with a little amount of water. So that is said to be humid temperate and a tropical rainforest. In Selaginella species, 2 of them are known as xerophytic plant. What is a xerophyte? Plant which lives on the desert region or sandy region is known as xerophytic plants. Some of the pteridophytic plants is also lives on the desert region. Example, Selaginella rupestris and Selaginella lepidophylla. This is an important 2 mark question. Name some pteridophytic plants which are known as xerophyte, or they are showing the xerophytic mode of habitat. 2 plants, Selaginella rupestris, Selaginella lepidophylla. Mark it in your textbook. Then different species of Selaginella are Selaginella craussiana, Selaginella chrysocollus, Selaginella megaphylla. So these are all the different common species of Selaginella. In few Selaginella species, during dry season, the entire plant body it's curled and became fresh green when moisture is available. So some of the Selaginella species, the entire plant body is modified into curled region, like a coil, mosquito coil, curled region, and became look like fresh green in color when moisture is available, the water is available. So due to this modification of characteristic feature, these plants are known as resurrection plants. Example, Selaginella Lepidophylla. Dear students, Selaginella lepidophylla is a xerophytic plant, isn't it? Which lives on the desert region. But sometimes the entire plant body, which are modified into curled nature and became fresh, green, when little amount of water is available. At the time only, the plant body is modified into curled nature with fresh and green color. This type of change in pteridophytic plants is known as resurrection plants. Example, Selaginella lepidophylla. Dear students, 2 mark question. What is resurrection plants? Example. Give example. What is the answer? In some Selaginella species, during dry season, that means dry condition, the entire plant which is curled and became fresh, green, when small amount of moisture or water droplet is available. Due to this, these plants are known as resurrection plants. Example, Selaginella lepidophylla. Dear students, in the previous para, we have seen introductory part and also habitat of Selaginella, different species of Selaginella. Now, we are going to see external morphology of Selaginella. That is habit, characteristic feature of Selaginella. The plant body of the Selaginella is sporophyte, is differentiated into root, stem and leaves, and also diploid in condition. So there are different variation of habitat of Selaginella. So different species of Selaginella, which is showing the different mode of habit, that means characteristic feature. Some species are prostrate, creeping on the ground system. Example, Selaginella crossiana, prostrate means creeping on the ground, like cucumber, isn't it? That is said to be Selaginella crossiana. Sub-erect, some of them partly prostrate, that is horizontal, and partly erect, that is sub-erect, that is known as Selaginella rupestris. Selaginella erythropus is totally erect, that means straight, like a plant which are growing above the ground level, that is said to be erect. And climbing, that means these Selaginella species are having very weak stemmed plant. They need some mechanical support, so they are twining the host plant or other plant for its support, that is said to be climbing. Example, Selaginella elegans. Another one, epiphyte. What is the epiphyte? Yeah, plants which are hanging from the, hanging means what is that one? Hanging from the bark of a tree is known as epiphyte. The Selaginella oregana is an epiphytic plant, that means which is hanging from the bark of a tree. Most of the species are perennial. So what is perennial? So the perennial is the habit of plants. According to their lifespan, plant habit is also divided into 3 forms. This one is a basic thing you already studied in the lower section: annual, biennial and perennial. Annual means plant which are completing their life cycle within 1 year. Biennial, that means 2. The plants which are completing their life cycle within 2 years is known as biennial. Another one, perennial, that means the plant's life cycle is more than 2 years, is known as perennials. Most probably, all the trees are known as example of perennials. But the Selaginella species, most of the species are known as perennials. Why they are known as perennials? Means on the basis of arrangement of stem and leaves, Selaginella is also divided into different subgenera, namely Homeophyllum and Heterophyllum. So based on the structure of a stem, arrangement of a leaves, Selaginella species are divided into different subgenera, that is 2 subgenera, namely Homeophyllum and Heterophyllum. So what is Homeophyllum? Phylum means leaf. They are producing one type of leaf is known as Homeophyllum. Heterophyllum means they are producing 2 different type of a leaf. So based on the Homeophyllum and Heterophyllum, the Selaginella species is also showing the variation. First one, Homeophyllum. These species are included with erect stem. Stem portion is very erect and the leaves are spirally arranged leaves. Example, Selaginella upestris and Selaginella oregana. So Heterophyllum include species with a prostrate stem, that is horizontal stem. Homeophyllum means erect stem, straight, that is vertical stem. Heterophyllum means prostrate, that means horizontal stem with short erect branches. They are showing what is that one? Short erect branches, that means straight branches containing dimorphic leaves. What is the dimorphic leaves? That is the morphologically different 2 leaves are present in the erect branches, short erect branches. That is known as dimorphic leaves. That's why I told you Heterophyllum is 2 different shape of the leaves are produced. Dimorphic, morphologically different leaves. How many leaves? 2 leaves are present in the plant body known as Heterophyllum. Example, Selaginella crosiana and Selaginella lepidophylla. So these are all the different habit of Selaginella and its species. Dear students, up to this we have seen different classification of pteridophyte, economic importance of pteridophyte, and systematic position of Selaginella, different habitat of Selaginella, and habit nature of Selaginella. Up to this, I conclude my video. Remaining we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best, children.